Levin, why are you up so late?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just catching up on my backlog of drinking scotch. How are you? How are the kids? You look like hell.
Thank God. It's really hard to keep your sanity and looks at this time. So, um, thanks for that.
Okay, anytime.
Plus, there's the goddamn tooth fairy.
Who?
The tooth fairy. I had the kids in bed. I did all that distance learning shit and dishes and whatever. And then Aiden pulls out this right as I was walking out the door.
Oh my God, that's a tooth.
First of all, I just really love the title, Tooth
I
Fairies
guess he
in
was so
Quarantine.
bored he was
that's
yanking
a
it
great
on
idea,
all day
and
long.
that they were able to make a story happen over Zoom like this. Everybody talks about, especially during the last 2 years, everybody's talking about trying to make a whole story work over social media chat and things like that, and it rarely works, but. This worked out really nicely. It was a very funny exchange between father and daughter here, and our hearts just really went out for them just from the very beginning. We knew we had an idea what they were going through, and it was very funny. And my favorite line was she asked what he does with the teeth. He says necklaces. That was a very funny line. So the actors, everybody did a great job. This is it was a really good idea. It was well written. It was well paced. And and like I liked the music, good use of score there. So yeah, no, great job all around. And I hope this gets out there and gets seen and does well for the
I
team.
thought this one was delightful. For a piece that's another Zoom call between two people, it does a really great job at drawing us in, giving us the story piece by piece, as it were, just giving us a sense of building the world outside the two talking heads. Really, really, it's well done like that. And the back and forth between the two really does keep things interesting. They're both delightful in their own way, and they really just help carry this small little story that's so relatable forward. And it just ends great and definitely worth
It was
checking
really
out.
delightful to watch. I really enjoyed this film. It was so relatable to our current time, like everything from the Zoom call to the stack of toilet paper in the background. I thought that was great. As a parent myself, I really resonated with the mom, and I think a lot of people will. And how great was it that they could talk about really real, really difficult struggles that we're having, but in a humorous way, in a way that was lighthearted and fun. I thought this was a great story, and I thought they did a really
Yeah,
good
I
job
thought
with
this
it.
one was solid. It's another one of those shorts that's like made in quarantine, and it's definitely time stamped by that, you know, that this moment in history, and I think that like I'll praise any filmmaker that continued to create and tell stories using Zoom. Like nobody ever thought that we were going to be here, but it's a really interesting visual way to convey what like how we've been living for the past 2 years. I think the filmmaker does a great job at kind of playing around with that reality and exploring it. I think the performances are decent between the two performers. I think it just overall it's really solid.
That was really funny, yo. I like the idea. I like the idea of using like doing like if you're gonna do a Zoom film, the idea of making it motivated to where it's like because like this is a real thing that would happen is like a mom would talk to her father slash granddad over Zoom. Like that's a genuine like that's a way to use Zoom in a film that's like motivated that works. I think. And like you immediately just buy in, so it's not weird that it's on Zoom. It's not like trying to do like a traditional narrative short film over Zoom, like a play, like a play reading or something. It's like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like this is like just a conversation that would happen over Zoom. So I really like that. I think that the motivated use of the Zoom call, I like that. Two, it was really funny, yo. That grandpa had me rolling when she was like, he was yanking on her for however long. He was like, that's not the worst thing he could have been yanking on. I had me dying. He had a bunch of really good zingers in there. So yeah, it was really funny. It was a creative idea. It was a cool idea. Um, I really liked it. Good
The Tooth
job.
Fairies in Quarantine was really sweet and funny. I like the approach of just having the bad quality video camera through the computer screen, and this premise of social isolation and being separated, and this premise of like, well, how does the Tooth Fairy visit if there's a pandemic, and what about germs? I loved how it was explored. I thought it was really funny, really touching and sweet. I think it hits home how like kids are experiencing the pandemic, but also parents and grandparents, and I just thought the way it was done was really fun. You can totally see that everyone involved was having fun making it. Really great piece.
Hilarious. First of all, Barry Bostwick is a national treasure. He's amazing and hysterical, and I can't believe he went to the places that he went to. He is wonderful. Also, the writing for him, spot on. For both characters, actually. For the mom, too. Just really on point. She was wonderful and very, very, very truthful in her portrayal of a mom in desperate need of a break from quarantine. So this was pretty amazing. I loved the kid. The kid was great too at the end. Just really smart direction, smart writing, smart. The way it was shot so simply to make you feel like you're in a Zoom with them. I just really loved this. It's so funny. So congratulations. It's hysterical.
Super sweet film. Really funny idea of, not knowing what to do about the Tooth Fairy. When there's a pandemic, you don't want strangers in your house. I just feel like that idea and that joke isn't really clear, and we don't get to it quickly enough. And I kind of almost wanted to see, the scene between the mom and her son, who's like, well, is the Tooth Fairy gonna come? Like, there's a pandemic, and like seeing her have to answer those questions. I feel like that would have been a funny scene to have. And I think just in general, making the film shorter, I think there was jokes that you could cut. But I did think the chemistry between the two actors was really good. It was funny to see them play off each other.